What's up, guys? It's Gothic, aka Sam, and today, we are playing Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club, and you know the drill. We're still on the PBG route. Let's go. I crouched by my door to my room, listening intently for any movement. PBG was ready and in position. The only thing that remained was the admirer. Would he come, or did he know something was up? I listened to the clock ticking away. Periodically, I checked the time on the time on my phone. 11:36, 11:55, 12:30, 12:23. There! Stop! I flung up at the door. A tall silhouette stood there, and when he saw my face, he yelled and started to run. Too late. PBG came flying around the corner, dashing through the open bathroom door. He lunged at the man in front of me, and they both crashed to the ground. Get off me! Get off!
No.
Stop moving. Stop. PBG pinned the guy to the ground. Finally, we saw who it was. Luke? But... Why would you be doing this to Hana? Why are you trying to hurt her? He's not. I gently pulled PBG's jacket and he moved off Luke. Luke rolled his shoulders, mumbling angrily to himself. Luke was trying to keep me too distracted to compete in the tournament, weren't you? A surprised look crossed Luke's face and he smiled. Yeah, it was. How'd you figure that out? But why? The notes? I thought they'd be a pleasant way of distracting you. Everyone likes to have people crushing on them. But it kind of backfired a bit at the end, and I was in too deep to go back, so I'm sorry. In too deep? Yeah. Then, to my surprise, Luke started blushing. See, I never meant anything by it, but over time I ended up falling for you, Hana.
What?
Crazy, right? So I made up my mind. Luke got to his feet, brushing off his clothes. He held out a hand for PBG, who took it and pulled him up as well.
Oh, yeah.
If I beat you in the tournament, PBG, I'm going to confess to Hana. PBG froze, Luke's hand still on his. I looked from one to the other, unsure of what to do. It's up to you how the rest plays out. I made the best man win, eh? Luke winked and let go of PBG's hand. It stayed there hovering in the air like PBG was frozen in ice. I better get a good night's sleep if I want to win. No way I can lose now.
Catch you later.
See you tomorrow. PBG, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't see that coming at all. Me neither. To my horror, a blush spread across my cheeks. Do you like him?
What?
Like him? I barely know him. I said this, but PBG looked unconvinced. I pressed my cheeks, trying to remove the flush from my face, but to no avail. Well, I'm not going to lose to him. Got it? Yeah, I got it. So even if you want him to win, he's not gonna. Yeah, right. I'm going to win. Me. PBG punched the air. Yeah. I joined him. Together we stood there, fists in the air, staring at the ceiling.
Hey, what's up?
So we found the guy?
Ah!
Yeah, it was Luke. He said, Hana, you should get some rest, and I gotta get out of here before someone finds me. Okay. I didn't want him to leave. I felt like there was a misunderstanding, like he'd gotten the wrong idea, but I desperately wanted to clarify it. But why? It wasn't actually that important. Not as important as getting the sleep the night before tournament.
Bye.
Okay, I'll see you later.
See ya.
Night. Mai watched him go, a weird look on her face. He okay? I guess so. So Luke wants to confess to you. Wait, you heard? Of course I heard. We're in the middle of the hallway and you guys were shouting. Mai pointed a finger down the hall. Heads were poking out of doors, eyes blurry. Hey, do you mind shutting the hell up? Kakuso wished to be invited to this wild party. Sorry. I guess it's good that everything got sorted out, though. Now you can get some sleep and kick ass tomorrow. Yeah. Mai smiled at me and flipped off the light. We crawled into our respective beds and I shut my eyes trying to sleep. But if everything was solved, why did I feel I was just as uneasy as before? I should really get some sleep. I woke up the next day, butterflies flying through my stomach. The tournament. How would things go? I had months of time to prepare, but in the end I didn't spend much time practicing, especially not compared to Ian. Would I really be able to beat him if I had wanted to join the Normal Boots Club? With these thoughts creeping in my mind, I changed into my Asagao uniform and crept out of the room. It was early on a Saturday morning, and after our late night, I wanted to let my sleep. I stepped out into the fresh spring air, taking a deep breath. My event was one of the first to go, so I had to be there earlier than most. Plus, it took a little time to get to Haganaba. I set my shoulders and started across campus. The arcade at which the tournament was being held was much smaller than I expected. I felt like I'd found some kind of convention, but instead it was a small local arcade filled with arcade machines. Smaller rooms split off, which were probably the individual competitions would take place throughout the day. A few people milled about the space, generally older folk in their 20s and 30s. I glanced at the agenda in my hand and made my way to one of the back rooms. When I entered the competition room, I found 2 chairs on an elevated platform, a computer and a projector sitting between them and hooked up to separate controllers. Ian sat in one of the chairs, looking bored out of his mind.
Good morning.
Ian.
Hey.
It was about time you showed up. I was starting to get worried about you. Oh, it's sweet of you to be concerned. Is it? Yeah. I got in the chair next to him. The man came over to me to check my name and club affiliation. I said I was a member of the Normal Boots Club, a small surge of pride making me sit up as I said it. There were chairs lined up for people to watch us compete, and to my surprise, the entire room soon filled. I searched the crowd to find the Normal Boots Club. There they were. Everyone but PBG. Where was he? I stared worriedly into the crowd. A blur of movement caught my eye. Luke was sitting in a chair on the edge with the rest of Hidden Block Club waving frantically at me. When he saw me looking, he gave me a big thumbs up. Ian rolled his eyes.
Really?
Would it kill you to root for your own teammate? I giggled. Finally, the lights around us dimmed and the projector started up, showing the main menu of Dumbadoom's Revenge on screen. It was time to start. As the MC began his introduction to explain the rules of the games, Ian turned to me, a smirk on his face. Sure you're ready for this?
Yeah.
You bet I am. Ready to go? The man turned to us. Ian and I nodded. Then, 3, 2, 1, start! The game began. I immediately clicked to fill my screen with 2 more lines of blocks. Ian began working with what he had. I scanned the blocks for the pink hearts, eliminating them one by one, making combos where I could. I still wasn't advanced enough to plan tons of combos ahead of time, but I could make it much more likely for combos to happen throughout probability. The pinks were almost gone. The green leaves were next. Dumbadoom flipped at the top of the screen. Ian must be comboing, which meant I had a few seconds before those blocks would fall. I set up a combo on top of the screen and started to eliminate the orange blocks below it. Then it happened. A 6 combo jumped out at me from the screen. My eyes crossed as I stared at it in shock. I just had moved the top block over 1 space. Then as quickly as I saw it vanish, the blocks looked normal again. You're dead. As Ian's blocks fell upon my humble kingdom, I slid the combo into place. 2, 3, 4, combo, 5 combo, 6 combo, 7 combo, 8 combo! Ian's attack converted into blocks and hovered above mine. I set up several more combos and waited for them to fall. 10 combo, legendary! Dumbadoom started farting rainbows over Ian's zone, and then... blocks. So many blocks. They didn't come in a chunk, they came in a torrential downpour all over Ian's side, sliding from left to right and back again. Ian blinked, his eyes and hands moving frantically over the screen. I wasn't sure he'd ever seen something like that before. I sure hadn't. I continued to combo while this was happening, but at this point there was no need. Ian's screen filled up. He kept trying to make combos until the very end, but... game over! That was it. I won. I stared dumbfounded at the screen in front of me. Ian's mouth hung open, the room was silent. Then...
Whoa!
Yeah, Hana!
Aw, yeah.
I knew you could do it. I glanced up to see the room applauding, all of it, even the Hidden Block Club. The announcer was gaping at the screen. I've never seen a score that high. I was certain I was red as a tomato. I stood to climb off the platform. Not so fast. Ian stepped in front of me, grim as always. I braced myself for his infamous sarcasm. But to my surprise, he laughed. It was a hell of a game, Hana. That's exactly what I wanted from you. He held a hand in the air, and I looked at it in confusion. Don't leave me hanging. Oh! I high-fived him, and he clapped my hand as his. Thanks, Hana. That was fun. Then he disappeared into the pressing crowd. I wiggled my way through all the crowd, eager to find PBG. I looked for his head above the rest of the crowd, but I couldn't see him anywhere.
Hana!
There you are. Luke grabbed my shoulder and turned me around to face him. I jumped about a foot back, arms held up defensively. What are you doing, weirdo? Have you seen PBG? Our match is in an hour, and he still hasn't shown up.
What?
I glanced at my phone, dread sinking in my stomach. No way. He couldn't couldn't still be asleep because of last night, could he? Thanks, Luke. I've got it covered. I dashed away from the arcade and raced across campus. No matter what, PBG had to win his round. Thankfully, John left his door unlocked, probably assuming PBG would be leaving soon after him. I burst through the door and found PBG right where I expected him. PBG, wake up! I ran to the side of the bed and grabbed him, shaking him frantically. What is it? You idiot, your event is in 45 minutes. Get up. What? You can't lose to Luke. You hear me? You can't. Oh no! PBG sprang out of his bed, already fully dressed. My jaw dropped. I was prepared just in case this happened. Come on, let's go. He grabbed my hand and pulled me from the room. Together we ran across campus. His legs were twice the size of mine, so I could barely keep up. He was practically dragging me there. Did I already miss your event? Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. How did it go?
Yeah.
I won. Somehow I managed to win.
What?
Really, Hana, that's amazing. I know. I'm really proud of myself. You should be. We flew across the campus, out through the streets and out and into the mall. Actually, I was thinking, I really like playing games, like a whole lot. I don't ever have any plans for my future or my passions, really, but I think I want to work with games. I think that's what I want to do. PBG stopped. We both panted, me doubled over. When I looked up, I realized we were at the arcade. Hana, that's great. I smiled at him. It's thanks to you, isn't it? No, it's thanks to you. Whatever you say. PBG smiled at me, and for a brief second I felt like I was floating on air. I was so happy. He looked at me with steel in his eyes. Hana, I'm not going to lose.
What?
He clenched his fist. No matter what, I'm not going to lose to Luke. Not in this match, not in anything else. Do you hear me? Yes, I hear you. There are things at stake that are important to me, so no matter what, I'm going to give it my best. Will you be there?
Yeah.
Of course I will. That's all I need. Come on, you need to go get signed up. PBG filled out his registration at the front desk and we sprinted to the pinball area. We found Luke already playing at the machine. A woman nearby told us he was on his last leg. No!
Unfreaking believable.
The ball fell out of his grasp and Luke groaned. A score flashed across the screen. 1,375-200. You have to beat that? Isn't that a lot for pinball? It won't be easy, but I'll try. PBG approached the machine, stretching out his neck like a professional athlete. The machine had an alien theme to it, and it was pretty cool. The tiny little gray creature stood in groups at its base with a UFO the ball could enter, a NASA spaceship, and several other space-themed features. PBG pulled back on the crank and started up the game. I didn't have any sense of how pinball worked as a game. I guess it had something to do with reflexes and angles and something that a person with a knack for math would find fascinating, combined with a good deal of luck. That being said, PBG was good. Really good. I watched and cheered with the crowd as he knocked the ball through the various obstacles, his score slowly rising. It was odd, though. There was no place for an alien abduction. You would think with an alien theme there'd be an abduction. PBG threw one ball, 2 balls, 3 balls. He finally reached his last round, but he was still 300,000 points short. He swallowed, hand hovering over the trigger. I watched it roll over and into the machine, my hands over my mouth. But as I watched, he ignored the UFO that he had previously targeted for all his points. Instead, he was shooting the ball at the very top corner of the machine in a blank space. What was he doing? There wasn't any way to get points there. He waited, concentrating hard as the ball came down, hand poised and ready. It rolled onto the flipper, and just before it fell into the pit below, PBG pressed the button and missed. The ball rolled into the pit below, and his game ended. 25,000 points short. He lost. He approached me after, pale and sweaty. PBG. No, it's fine, it's fine. He looked anything but fine. I glanced at Luke, who was watching PBG from a distance. Even he didn't seem very happy. Hana, do you mind? I'd like to catch my breath. Go catch up with the other guys, okay?
Well.
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, Hana. You didn't do anything. He walked away, shoulders slumped. I left to find and watch the rest of the Normal Boots events. There was nothing I could do. We found the Normal Boots Club in the arcade, watching Paul and Josh go head-to-head in Canal Fighter. They saw us coming.
All right.
Hana, you did it! Jared raced toward me and pulled me into a hug. Everyone else crowded around, trying to pat me on the head or give me a high five. I knew you had it in you.
Copacetic.
I love when he says copacetic. You set a new high score for the division. Do you realize that?
Really?
Really?
All right.
That combo's pretty difficult to do, so it's so rare to even see it happen. The MC was stunned. Did you see his face? He mimicked the guy's face, looking like a portrait of the Scream.
You're the best.
We're really happy for you. It was a few seconds before the others realized PBG was there too. Oh yeah, how'd it go, peeps? PBG turned away and John's face fell. Really? You? What happened? I guess the better man won. It's not true. But he shook his head. He didn't want to talk about it. Well, nothing we can do about it now. Let's play some games. For fun this time, not work. The tournament continued as the rest of us hung around the main arcade area playing games and cheering each other on. Members peeled off one at a time for their events. Satch, then John, then Shane. The last people to leave were continuing their 3-man tag team. We watched them go, hearts in our throats. Finally came back and it was time to announce who won the tournament. The Hidden Block Club and Normal Boots Club stood around the MC who tallied the scores in front of us. Finally he cleared his throat. The winner of the 2015 Southwest tournament is... the Normal Boots Club!
Yay!
Yes! We did it! We descended on the stage in a swarm of happiness. The poor MC didn't know what hit him. He was surrounded by a group of cheering, mosh-pitting teenagers. He held up the trophy with one hand. PBG grabbed it and the MC crawled out from underneath us. We'd like to thank all of our friends, family, fans for their support. We literally could not have done this without you. And we have an announcement to make. We've got a new member, introducing Hana Mizuno. The crowd clapped politely as I walked to the front of the stage, bowing compulsively. Hello. I'm Hana Mizuno, and I'm glad to be here. As they cheered, I felt something heavy and soft fall over my shoulders. I grabbed it, then gasped. PBG stood over me, beaming. Welcome to the Normal Boots Club, Hana. My very own Normal Boots jacket. Thank you all. PBG and I stepped into a small recess by ourselves, and I could finally breathe. The two clubs were now celebrating together as if there was never a division between them. To be honest, I felt like there hardly was one. The tournament was more for show than anything. It was a whirlwind of stress, and now that it was over, I was exhausted. I was prepared to look at this tournament like a distant memory, a happy, beautiful memory. I have to say, that was unexpectedly fun. Did you think it wouldn't be? It's not that. I was so nervous. I thought there was no way I would make it through without throwing up. Well, you did, and you did us proud. I blushed. I think it's about time we get out of here, though. I don't like the look on that guy's face. He gestured to one of the people who staffed the tournament, who was waiting with a broom and a trash bag, looking ready to slaughter us one by one. Whoa, okay, right, I'll just...
Hey.
Hana, I was looking for you. I should have known I'd find you with this guy. Luke patted PBG on the shoulder, who frowned at him. What's up, man? We were just about to head out. That's perfect timing, then. I need to give you something, Hana. Luke dug around in his pocket. Oh my god, words. Luke dug around in his pocket and pulled out a small book in which he opened to reveal a crisp, clean, white envelope. Another letter? If you don't mind, I think this will be the last. Not really knowing what to do, I took it. Thank you, I guess. He looked at me with something of a pained expression, then suddenly... Luke? He pulled me into a hug, his long arms completely engulfing me. I hugged him back on impulse, feeling his lean muscle through his shirt. Don't open it right away, okay? Wait till you're alone. He released me a slight tint to his face.
Okay, well, see you around.
Anyways, thank you for everything, Hana. Without waiting for my reply, he disappeared into the arcade where the others were starting to clean up. PBG came to stand by my side, practically on top of me, looking disgruntled. Are you sure those letters were fake?
No one could sincerely be that corny in their love letters, right?
But even as I said it, doubts formed in my mind. I glanced at the pristine envelope in my hands, the last of the letters Luke would ever write me. He didn't send them well at all. He even tried to scare me. But if that was the case, why was he giving me this last letter? He said he liked me in the other letters. Of course it was all a charade, but he did say it. Maybe... PBG screwed up his face and took a deep breath. Hana, Then he stopped, his eyes wide. He shoved his hands in his pockets, eyes trained on a point far behind me. Never mind.
What?
Were you going to say something? No. No, I was not. He sighed and then reached out a hand to pet the top of my head. Hey! I hope it goes well for you.
What are you talking about?
I'll support you. If he ever makes you sad, let me know. I'll beat him up real good.
Anyways, get your hands off my head. It's not fair that you can use your height against me like that.
He chuckled, then led the way to the door. I didn't know why, but I felt like something ended right there. Something big, something more than just a tournament. Sunlight was fading by the time I got back to my dorm room. I said goodbye to PBG in front of Primrose, and for some reason he stood and watched me walk into the building. It wasn't late enough to be dangerous. Jeez, he was too protective. Something about the look in his face bothered me. I felt like he was really saying goodbye, but it was probably better to let him be. Besides, I had a letter to read. With trembling hands, I ripped open Luke's last letter. Hana, I know I have a lot to explain, and I hope this does everything justice. See, I knew as soon as PBG saw you walk up to the front of the class that poor boy was hopelessly in love with you. I watched you interact at lunch, and it slowly started to drive me crazy. He loved you, but wasn't doing anything about it. After nothing happened at the festival, I decided to take matters in my own hands. Initially, I just wanted to be another suitor, hoping that would spark a fire and make him hurry it up. I was trying to be super generic and cliche, comparing it to the sea and such. I know, kinda lame. Then PBG let slip that he hadn't made a move, so I took matters in my own hands. I wanted to do something big and theatrical, something truly romantic. I'm a hopeless romantic myself, after all. And in the movies, there's always that obstacle to overcome that gets the couple together. Truthfully, I didn't write those last notes. I got them from Twilight, the most romantic movie in the past 10 years. With those, PBG would really come and fend for you. It's like a big, huge opera. PBG saves you from the masked caper. An amazing movie-like moment. At least I hope it was. But since that still didn't work out, I had to act like I was in love with you. Which should be obvious by now. I'm not. Not that you're not great or anything, but PBG's the one for you. Hopefully this finally got homeboy in gear. Because, honestly, nothing is more than our friendship. Please don't hate me for doing that, but I know PBG. He was afraid to show his heart until he had to fight to protect you. And if I'm not mistaken, he fought pretty hard, didn't he? Yeah, I know I'm awesome. I got your back, girl. Anyway, wishing you the best, Luke. I set the letter to the side and laid down on my bed. Luke. Oh no, we got the bad end. Oh no, I didn't want that. Okay, so we're gonna have to play the PBG end again. So in the next episode, we will play we'll try to get the good end. So we'll just fast forward through, try to get the good end. And then I know who's going to be the next guy we go for. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!